All right, we're recording. All right, guys, Melody and I want to come on. We're the two longest running distributors in the entire company. Melody was actually the first ambassador in the company years ago. She was in Puerto Rico doing a big trade show when she hit ambassador. Blair, Melody, Rob, and I, and the girls, we've traveled all over the world together. We've had a great run, nothing like we're going to have. And that is matters of fact. And we want to come in and give you what Melody and I have agreed to do, the State of the Union, where we've come from, where we are, but where we're going is most important. And I'm highly excited about this particular Zoom. We got another one of our Millionaire Club members will be joining us here shortly on the Zoom. So Melody, the one thing that you and I and Blair have done, we've big dreamers. And the one thing we've done is we always created a bigger expectation for where we're going. We always had the dream, and it's not always been easy. Melody and Blair has been with us when we've hit the big lulls. We've had a wrap shortage. We had a software crash. We were growing the company so quick, we crashed the software, and that took weeks to get it up and running. And we've been through all the adversities, but one thing leaders do. In times of adversity, we stand up and take charge, and we move forward. And anything that you're going to go after that's worthwhile in life is going to be uphill. I don't care who tells you what. It seems like it's easy for us, but we just don't give up. Melody, Blair, I promise you, there's no quitting in their blood, no quitting in Ms. Lackey in our blood. We've been here too long, and we love the people we're in business with. We love our product line, and we love you. And we're going to offer more unified support throughout the organization for everybody. We're going to stop this team, that team. No, we're not going to isolate. We're coming in together, and we're going to be more transparent but unified. And we're going to help you start to acquire the goals that we know that you can reach. And I think God is in everything that's happened up to this point. If you're going through a little bit of a lull now, or you're having to go into a run right now, what I want you to understand is, God has to bring us all through a part of life. We're not mature enough to handle the next blessing. So God and Melody and Blair, they know that. We were just running like crazy. Melody was doing big rap parties, shows, knocking it out. And all of a sudden we have a rap shortage. And that slowed us down. But then we just hunkered in, and Blair and I was doing calls every day for everybody to just let you know, no, we're still here. We're just going to have a quick lull, but we're coming right back after it. But they never stopped coming after it as hard as they could go. And that's one thing I love about Mel and Blair, the leadership that they've offered. And then all of a sudden we had this software crash, and everything just went blank in the back office, like what just happened? And it was only Melody and I knocking it out at that particular time. And we just had Cammie and some of them coming on. But at this point, it grew so fast that we crashed the software. They told us they can handle this influx of business, but they can't. But it took all those years to get us to where we are right now for what's fixing to happen on February the 1st. It's going to be earth-shattering and mind-changing, and you're going to have the position. You're going to be put in a position. I don't care what your dream is. Your dream, the only thing I see is the dreams are not big enough. And, when God puts a big dream in your heart, he's a big God. He's going to perform on a bigger level. And I read a book earlier today, Mel, and it was talking about the little boy and the old man fishing at the river, and the little boy kept catching a lot of fish, but he threw the big ones back, and the old man finally said, "Son, what are you doing? You catching a lot of fish?" "Yeah, I caught 7 or 8. He said, "Why are you throwing the big ones back?" He said, "I only got a 7-inch frying pan." And therefore, he couldn't handle the big fish. Miss Lackey cooks on her big old range over here, and it's a big 24-inch frying pan. So we want the biggest that we can buy. So if you've been cooking and you've been just holding yourself back because your frying pan is so small, throw the frying pan in the trash. Don't give it away. Throw it away. And let's elevate your dreams into the big frying pan. And when you catch something big, or God's placed a big dream in your heart, and it's really gotten big, and here it comes, you got to be prepared. But you got to be able to prepare to take the blessing. You have the maturity to run with it. You can't waste what God gives you. If you do, He can't trust you with anything else. So Mel, you and Blair, come on, and let's get started about where we've been, where we are, but figuring out where we're going.
All right. Well, man, you brought back a lot of memories, First of all, I feel real strongly. Can I say a quick prayer?
Absolutely.
Open this up with.
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys, if y'all will just bow with me really quick. Father God, I just thank you for this time together, Lord. We thank you for this new year, this new decade. And Father, we just ask that everything that is said tonight would be exactly what everyone needed to hear, that there would be something that they could take and hold on to as we get ready to go into this brand new year. And we give you the praise and the honor and the glory for it, Lord, because we know you have big things in store for us. So, Lord, we just ask that you use us, that whatever Rusty, Chad, Blair, or I would have to say, Lord, that you would use our mouth as your mouth, and that those words, our words, are your words, Lord. So we just ask you for that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so yeah, where we were in 2005 was when Blair and I got in. You got in pretty quick right after the beginning, right?
Yeah,
like a year later?
At the end of like 2001 or somewhere in there.
Yeah, so we established.
Mid this year, I go into my 19th year of being full-time with Mr. Pentecost. I start my 19th year.
Okay, so we've been around a little while, and this isn't going to be a I wish things were like they were back in the old days. Okay, because the old days are gone. I mean, they're totally changed. Everything has changed. Everything is different. But what we wanted to make sure that we came on here tonight to say was there are some things that have not changed. And so, back then, oh my goodness, you guys, we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off. You guys are running around with chickens with your heads cut off in front of your computer in your house or on your smartphone. We were all over the country. We were flying here, flying there. We didn't have the beauty of technology at our fingertips like we have today with Zooms and FaceTimes and things like that, Messenger. So if we wanted to get with somebody, we went and physically got with that person. We got in front of them. They invited people, and we got excited. We were excited about our products, y'all. And so that's what carried us all the way through. See, when Blair and I first got into network marketing, in a couple of weeks, it'll be 30 years ago that we got into our first network marketing company. Can you believe that?
That was child prodigies.
Yeah, we were little. We were just little kids. And actually, we were 34 years old. And we just, we're doing everything we could just to keep our head above water. Taking care of 4 kids and making sure they got fed and making sure that they got to school. And we were working, both of us working, and we got into network marketing in 1990, January 26th, actually on Jeff Reel's birthday. It was his birthday when we signed on the dotted line into our very first network marketing business. And we just knew that we were going to be wealthy. We just knew it. We knew that it made sense to us. The business vehicle of network marketing made sense to us. We looked at each other and we said, dang, if it was shoveling horse manure out of the barn and getting 6 people to do it with you, and they all get 6 and they all get 6, shoot, we'll be rich. It was a matter of duplication. So we got it. We understood it. We totally saw what could happen. Now, for whatever reason, and I think it's because we had a lot of personal development to do, a lot of personal growth, we were not successful with that company as far as, real success. We had a little measure of success, very temporarily, but I'll tell you what that did for us, though. We had a college education in personal development through that first company we were with, and we were with them for 10 years. And so, you think, well, dang, how did they stay in when they weren't making anything? It's because we believed in what we were doing. We believed in ourselves. We believed that we could get our dreams, and we weren't willing to give up. Oh, there comes the kitty cat. We weren't willing to give up. And so, we just went to work. We started working on our personal development. And we didn't realize what was lying ahead for us. And in 2005 is when we got introduced to It Works. And I will tell you what was the difference between then, 1990, and June 2005. The difference was we were different people, for one thing, but the other network marketing companies that we went with in those 5 years after we quit our first one, we had another 5 years before we got into It Works. None of them were product driven. They were all opportunity driven. And in fact, we were told, who cares what the product is? If you like it, great. If you don't worry about it. Give it away, throw it away, bury it in the backyard, whatever. Just buy it and teach your team to buy it. And we did that. I mean, we never had training on products. We never talked about it. In fact, our first company said, don't talk about the products. Don't be what'd they call us? Don't be a sap.
Don't be a sap.
Don't talk about selling Amway, because that was the company we were with, Amway, or products. Don't talk about selling Amway or products. Don't be a sap. And so we didn't. And, for me, with the way my personality is, I really had a hard time just being excited about the opportunity part. I mean, I was excited. I was excited about our opportunity, but it was not it wasn't my forte to talk about it. It was Blair's forte. Blair was good at talking about the opportunity. But when I got introduced to these wraps, I got excited about our products, the products that we had. I got excited about those wraps. And you guys, the wraps are still a magical product. But I will tell you, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any training whatsoever. I just knew if I put that wrap on, people were either going to be a customer of mine, or they were going to be a distributor, or they were going to do nothing. And so I figured 2 out of 3 ain't bad, like the old song says from Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And so that was my whole thing, was I got excited about the products. And everybody who I came in contact with got that excitement from me. I was just talking to everybody. Oh my gosh, have you ever heard of the wrap? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever heard of It Works? Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of that? I mean, it was just people like, no, tell me what. And they bought my excitement. And then they saw results when they tried the wrap, they saw results and they got excited. And they would tell people, I mean, I would have people calling me saying, hey, you don't know me? I heard about that wrap. I want to know what it is. When can I get one? It was pretty darn exciting. So for me, that was what the difference was. It was not the opportunity. It was the products. And when you boil it all down to what are we really trying to do here? We get paid for doing one thing, and that's creating volume, whether it be through customers or through distributors. That's it. And if we're not creating volume, guess what? We're not going to get paid. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're not excited about our products, you better learn about them and you better get excited. And we're going to do a better job of training you guys on the products. One of the gals in a group that I'm in, of all different kinds of distributors in there, she did a really, really nice slide presentation of all the products, every single one of them, with all the bullet points on it. And it's really, really nice. And it's something that you could download. You can put it in a folder if you want to. You can just have it up on your phone if you're talking to anybody about products. But, when we did wrap parties, we would always come out of there with big orders because they saw that we were excited about our products. And because we had a little knowledge about our products. Okay, so you don't have to know everything, but it is in your best interest to do some studying on your products. And it doesn't hurt to know all of them, but then get really good at your favorites. But don't discount any of them out, because you never know I may not like one product and I don't promote it, but everybody else would love it. So you just never know. You just talk about them. Ask people what their goals are. We need to become better at keeping customers and taking care of our customers. That's where we are today. Let's talk about 2019. I didn't like it. I'm going to be right up in front and close and personal with you. I did not like 2019. I didn't like nothing about it, hardly. There was a few good things in there, but for the most part, I was not happy with 2019. And so I realized, you know what? That kind of leaches down into your team. And so I made up my mind I was going to love 2020. And we are all going to love 2020. So it's what you are saying. 2019, it's over. Thank God it's over. But I shared this. Blair and I went to Ashley Sinclair's for New Year's. We're buddies with her and Daniel. And, we went over there and she said something that was so profound that I didn't even catch it. But she was at Costa Rica. Blair and I were in Costa Rica. And so she said that the very first night that we were there, Mark did a huddle with all of us. There were 20 from the U.S., 5 from international, and then 5 movers and shakers. And so there were 30 of us plus spouses. And he talked very candidly that night. Everything he talked about was about more for 2020, more. And what Ashley said, she goes, if you didn't really pay attention, what did Mark talk about in 2019? He talked about reloading, refocusing, rebuilding, rebranding, this. It wasn't anything about growing. It wasn't anything about that. It was about reinventing ourselves, redoing. And we did that. We came out with lots of products. The branding is different. We did that in 2019. And I remember, and rest of you probably remember this, the year that we were all at Dash and he talked about changing the graph. And that's all he talked about all year long was that the graph, what I'm talking about is that we go through seasons in our business to where you're going to have some really high times. The volume's kicking in, everybody's rocking and rolling, and then it kind of goes down. It dips down a little bit, and then it comes back up again. So right out of the first of the year, right out the gate, things are exciting. Everybody's excited. Everybody's trying to lose weight. They're wanting to make money. So things are going to be on an uphill, and then it's going to go down through probably May, and then it starts to decline a little bit because school's out. Kids are home. Now we got summer months, and those always kind of slow things down. But then coming out of August and back into September and October, we go back up again. And then we come back down again after November, after Thanksgiving, and we just, it's just a constant up, down, up, down, up, down. But what he said, he showed us that particular year, he said, every year with It Works, even though we might dip a little bit, each year we dip a little higher than where we were the year before, if that makes sense. Can you follow me on that? So it's not as low as we dipped the year before. It's always a little higher. So he kept saying all that year, we're going to change the graph. We're going to change the graph. We're going to continue to stay on a high. And we did. So it all started at the head with Mark setting the tone. And this year, he has set the tone already with more. Okay? More money, more health, more whatever, more. And this is not a selfish thing, a greedy thing. That's not the kind of more he's talking about. but more is the word for this year with our company. And Blair and I have both seen, and I know you've seen, Rusty, that whenever Mark looks you in the eye and he has that look, and you just kind of know that, oh my gosh, get ready. And he has that look, and he wants to go on another run. And this time, knowing Mark, this run is going to be even more powerful than the run that we had back in 2011 when we had the wrap shortage, 2012, 2013, 2014, 15, 16. Woo! I went back and, because I was feeling just like y'all, I was feeling a little bit like, things are just grinding to a halt, it seemed like. And so I went back and I started adding up all my volumes over those years. And I could only go back to 2008, April of 2008. I started in 2005. So I went back and I wrote down all the volumes and added them up each year. What did I do? And those are the BV. It's not the total sales, okay? I don't even know how to figure out the total sales, but you can probably add an extra 20, 25% to get total sales. But just the volume that we got paid on, that all of us get paid on, I got excited again. And I thought, oh my gosh, if we're going on another run like we were in 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and even into 2017, before things started shifting a little bit, and we had a lot of shaking out that needed to be done, you guys. A lot of people left that needed to leave, and y'all know that. So all of this to say, that's where we were.
Wasn't the sexiest.
But where we are today is heading into 2020. Do you have something you want to say real quick on this?
No, I mean, whatever.
I'm still rolling? Okay. I know he's got something he's going to say. I mean, y'all, he'll talk, okay? But Rusty, you got anything you want to interject in there?
Yeah, being with Mark all these years, every time we hit one of those, like the shortage or the crash, it's just like he bowed up. And one thing I've always seen, his word is his bond. He's never lied to me once. That was my contingent on leaving corporate America to come with you. I said, if you ever lie to me, I'll leave. I'm tired of that. And he said, it's always we're going to get better. We're going to work harder than everybody else, but I'm always be here for the distributors. I was once in your shoes, and the integrity that he has with all these years, he's never lied to me once. Not once. It's always been the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's something going to happen this year that you're going to get to be a part of, that Melody and I, we've kind of tasted a couple great things, and no doubt about it, we have the over majority of the beginners club here. We've had some people to make some great monies, but nothing like you're going to be put in a position to make this year. I don't care where you are. If you just got in today, or you've been in about the length of time that Melody and I, things in your life is fixing to change. Things is going to come out to a whole new level. And the one thing I want to convey before Melody gets started on phase 2 of this, as if you're cooking in that 7-inch frying pan, get rid of it. It is nowhere near big enough to contain exactly what's fixing to happen to you. If you got 7-inch frying pan people in your life, they're not your tribe. You want to go to people that's going to create and push you to become better, that sets the pace for you, that's going to feed into you, and you're going to have to, your check will grow to the norm that you grow this, that your personal growth is in. Because you know why? Because you can't handle the other. And for the blessing that's coming this year, God had to put me in Melody and several others in last year. We had to come through it, because I promise you, for every fiber of my being, I don't think she, Blair, me, all the rest of them, I don't think they were mature enough to handle what's fixing to happen. So we had to mature up last year. And now that we've gained this maturity, and we've all gotten our degrees in maturity, and we've graduated from that particular year, Mel and I and Blair and Rob and I, we've been on these crazy runs where your business grows into mega millions of dollars. Is that true, Melody? And here you are, you're sitting at the right place at the right time, because a crazy girl and guy from Tennessee and 2 crazy people from North Carolina decided we ain't quitting. We're going to be here. We're fighters. And we're not just soldiers. We're warriors. And the reason we're warriors, it ain't about us. I think these two families could pretty much do whatever, and it don't matter. But what I can tell you, we did it because we knew you guys were coming. We knew that God was going to bless us with bringing the unified organization that I call you family. He knew you was coming, and we didn't have nowhere to quit. We had all we was going to do is we're going to fight so you could have the dream that you deserve, the dream that your children deserve. Being a full-time daddy for almost 19 years to my two daughters, and not waking up by alarm clocks. I can't tell you what it was to be, and to know that you're sitting right here. And you're the next guys that's going to come in, and your children's lives are going to change forever. You're going to pay that last house payment the last time. You'll never have another one. You're going to be put in a position to go beyond anything you've ever been used to in your life. All you got to do is make up your mind. You come with Mel and I, and we ain't playing, because we will get up and fight in a daggone second. You know why? Because we know the importance of unifying as an organization. We know the importance of how precious your children are. We know the importance of how you at this point, you're going to get out of from being a liability into your family to now you're going to become a great asset. You know why? Because you didn't quit. You agree, Mel?
I totally agree. And, along with that, Rusty, is, here we are. You need to take an assessment of where you are today. And Rusty shared with me yesterday a video that I just loved. Or was it Monday? I don't even know what day it was. Anyhow, he shared with me a video that I thought was so good about network marketing in general, and what kind of student are you? And if you don't mind, Rusty, I would love for you guys to just kind of take an assessment as I'm explaining these. In school we had A, B, C, D, and F. We all knew what an A student was. We all knew what an F student was. And so he was talking about in network marketing, an F student. Now, if any one of these you're in this category, I'm not pointing fingers, nothing. You take a self-assessment and you determine, oh my gosh, I think I'm an F student, or I'm a D student, or whatever. Recognize it and now move forward from it. Okay? So here's an F student. This is an F student in network marketing. They are very unprofessional. Doesn't get trained, doesn't go to events, lies about the income and makes false product claims, uses spam as their prospecting method, has a very low sporadic productivity level. They know very little about the industry itself. They only care about making money and not about making people's lives better. They don't end up having any success. And it's also worth noting that they are the ones that give network marketing a bad name and typically end up on something like 60 Minutes playing the victim because they failed. Okay, that's an F student. All right, a D student is also unprofessional. Their productivity level is generally low. They have a low training interest and they complain about going through the training. They lack certainty in the industry, their company, and their products. They harm personal relationships because they are awkward. They can make a generous estimate. They can make, at a generous estimate, up to maybe $10,000 in an entire career, not a year, in their entire career in network marketing as a D student. All right, a C student is usually professional, has a moderate level of production, has a good general understanding of the industry, their products, and their company. They get trained, but usually don't train their downline well enough to get duplication. They have good relationships with people, and they can earn up to about $75,000 a year. Okay? I would hope that we can all at least be C students. That's the average, right? C is the average. All right, a B student is very professional, is recognized as a leader, has a high level of production, has a high level of knowledge, They train their teams and ensure duplication. They build and cultivate relationships with people. They will usually earn about $250,000 a year. It's not too shabby as a B student. Now, an A student, these are the elite. They are highly professional in every aspect, a very high consistent activity level, highly knowledgeable about the industry, their company, and their products, serves their teams at the highest levels. They are obsessed with training. They have outstanding relationships with people, and they are the ones who earn millions of dollars in network marketing. And this guy that was talking, he had a chart, and he showed about 90% of the people, the top 10% make as much money, this is worldwide, as all of the rest of the 90% added up. The top 10 make as much. And so, you know, you got to determine where you are today. You know, are you a C student? That's pretty good. Let's strive to be a B student while you're striving to be an A student. If you're a F or a D student, you got some working to do. You got some homework to do. And, you know, there's no shame in this. It's just a matter of where you are. I know when Blair and I got involved in network marketing, we were probably both F students. I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know any better, you know, so they don't teach us this stuff in school. So where you are today, let's get ourselves trained up. You know, am I talking about listening to this training and that training and this training and that? I'm not necessarily talking about that. If you have some extra time, maybe in the background, you can put some things on. But I'm talking about learning what you have to learn, the basics, in order to build your business. And that is knowing about the products so that you can go out and talk about them, or talk about them in a non-spammy way on social media. And there's tons of videos out there if social media is your thing. But we just have to get the right training. And I will admit, I have been so resistant to a lot of technology. I have not had a good grasp on our Connect app, but I was in there. I've decided I'm going to teach myself somehow, some way about that Connect app. And you guys, everything is in there. Everything. The videos on how to use it, go to the training videos. There's scripts in there. They teach you exactly what to say to a new customer. This is where I'm going to encourage you. You got to start getting good about taking care of your customers. This is not a one and done deal. Just because you got a customer and you go throwing them under somebody so that you can get a fast start, or if you're a diamond or above, getting a fast start in a cab, you know, you're hurting yourself. You may think you're going to make a quick buck here and there, but you're hurting yourself if you don't take and hold that new customer's hand. Help them to know how to change their auto ship, how to go in and place an order, you know, what they can do with you know, introduce them to some more of the products that we have. Let them know what we have. I mean, if I buy something from somebody, I'm telling you what, I'm going to get emails from them. I'm always getting emails from whoever I bought something from, checking to see if I got my order, checking to see how I'm liking my product, you know, doing a little product review, whatever it is. So why would we not do that? You know, so this is where I want us to really get good at getting the customers and keeping the customers, and good customers. Because see, Mark told us a long time ago, the bonuses that we get with cab bonuses, with fast start bonuses, are all reliant upon good customers. Good customers. So if you're just signing somebody up and you're throwing them in under somebody to get a fast start or a cab, and you're not even building a relationship, then the one who it hurts the most is you, when you don't take care of them, because that's somebody that could be your customer for life. I still have customers today that order today that came on board with me in 2005. She orders a fat fighter every single month. And she's skinny. You know, I'm telling you what, she's my best customer. But she's always open to hearing what are some of the new products. So now she's all about the carb control and the fat fighter. And no wonder she stays little. But, you know, if you cultivate a relationship with a customer, you will keep that customer for a long time. And I think the company was putting out an email today to people who have not been on AutoShip in a while. I think everybody who hasn't been on AutoShip in a while is getting an email with some type of promotion encouraging them to get back on AutoShip. They're going to get some kind of an incentive for getting back on AutoShip. So I'm excited about that. You know, the company is stepping up to the plate to help us to maintain and keep customers. So our job is to go get them. Okay, we got to go get them. So anything you want to add to that, Rusty?
That's pretty cut and dry. Mark has told us for years it's only going to get better, and he's going to work just as hard on his end as we are work over here on our end to help maintain and create that long-term relationship with our customers and our people. And you got to make up your mind if you're going to be that A or B or C person. Make up your mind to become a professional, and that's what professionals do. I was in banking a long time, and I was consistently whining and dining customers and making sure they were okay. What can I do to help you? There's no difference in this, except I get to operate from my kitchen table or my truck or in some part of the world that me and Blair and Melody and Robin's in or whatever. Thank God for smartphones, but we didn't have the technology, you guys, back then. We had fax machines, inferior websites, and cell phones, and we didn't hardly know how to use those things. There was absolutely, we didn't know what social media was. So taking care of your customer is key. And Mel, I think you're the first person to go out when you came on and popped out that the customer acquisition or the car bonus.
Yeah.
60 customers, she maintained her volume, and that got her. And we don't care what kind of car you buy. We don't want you to get in debt, but they just send you the money. And then if you do the commissions on top of it, that's over $1,000 a month just for your customers because you've done the right thing. And you know, when you make up your mind you're going to be a professional, you do this thing tight, you do it right, you become the professional. That's what sets you apart from being the D and the F to graduate from C to B to A. And we've all went through those steps of graduating forward. And so when you graduate forward, you just get a love for helping people and creating your own personal testimony with the product by utilizing the AutoShip. That's what saved my life. If I had not been had to have an AutoShip, I probably wouldn't have took many of the products. But you know what? These products actually, in my belief, is I don't think I would be around if I hadn't made a lifestyle change. And that's exactly what helped me to make the change in my lifestyle to still be here 14 years later when I was supposed to die in 6 months. And so God is the only one who knows we're going to die. I was just thankful that he brought this into my life at the time because he knew what was going to happen. So key, take care. You send them thank you cards when your new ones when they first come in. Send out Christmas cards. Me and Robin was carrying baskets of Christmas cards into the post office. And my little postal girl over here, she said, "Oh, it's customer appreciation at Christmas." I said, "It sure is." You know why? Because I want to know them people know that I care about you. I didn't want to get you as a one-trick Sally. I want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do so you can have the benefits of a product line that I confidently know in my heart it works.
Yeah, that's good. I just text Chad to see where he's at. He was hoping that he would be able to be home in front of his computer. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. Is there something you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, I mean, just tagging into this thing on the customers, you know, you don't need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers to make a really good check and a good income with it works. If you've got those core group of what Mark calls real customers, and you've got a team that are doing the same thing, your goal should be to be doing at least 400 in personal volume every month, not just the 80 BB AutoShip or the 150 to qualify for your check.
Let's bump that up to 500.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've got a group of people that are all doing that same thing, your check's going to be consistent and it's going to be amazing. I mean, I look at where we are now, guys. We have got a better product line now than we did 10 years ago, by far, with all the new stuff that they brought on. And I don't even know what he's going to introduce at conference, but I mean, we do. We have got a much better product line now than we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, certainly. So there's more things that you can promote to people for customers. And if you don't know about some of these products, you need to start taking them yourself. You know, change your auto ship around, put some different ones on there, try it. That's the best way for you to learn about them, is for how they make you feel. And you can tell the difference, you know, if you're not taking your greens every day, or you're not taking your collagens every day, or whatever, you know. That's one good way for you to really become an expert on it all, is by taking them all.
Yeah.
And like I said, change your auto ship around yourself. Always be promoting to your customers. Have you tried this? I think you would like this. You know, let's get you on this for a month and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
Mark had told us, God, way back in the day, that the biggest complaint, and this is still true today, that It Works had from customers, is that nobody ever followed through with them. Nobody ever followed up with them. Somebody signed them up as a customer. Like Mel said, they put them down under somebody where they could get a fast start bonus, and nobody ever picked up the phone and said hi, bye, boo, ever again. And now you've got a customer out there that's not happy, big time. And are they going to be wanting to try something different? I doubt it. They're like, wow, I just feel like these people use me. So, I mean, we have been adamant about that. And there's been a big, I don't know what the right word is, discussions about it and what's building this way and building that way. But we've said it for years, quit giving your customers away. You know, you're giving away a fortune. Denise Walsh, Black Diamond Denise Walsh, she was a customer before she became a distributor. So some of these customers that you're putting in there.
Carla Burns.
I mean, I'm telling you that there's just a fortune there. You don't know which one after 6 months or 9 months or whatever is going to go, wow, I do know that I'm feeling a lot better. My health's much better. My blood pressure's down where it wasn't like this before. And it's because of these awesome products I've been taking. I think I'd like to promote this and join your team. And so just one of those can just totally transform your whole life and your whole business for years and years and years to come. So just always remember that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like we talked about stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Let's quit stepping over the dollars. Let's start picking up the dollars and helping other people to do the same thing. And it's going to revolutionize your whole business and your whole paycheck month after month. It's going to be solid.
Yeah. So Chad is on. Rusty.
Right. Okay.
So,
Hey,
Chad. Chad.
What's happening?
Hey.
Man.
Man, it's good to see you guys. I appreciate you inviting me to come on here and share a little bit, add another perspective. You know, I'm still trying to figure out some of what Rusty was talking. He was talking about fax machine. What's a fax machine? You know, One Trig Sally and Melly's over here talking about meatloaf. You know, singing meatloaf and stuff. I'm like, I just love these people.
I love meatloaf.
Yeah. Have to Google it. Google it.
That's right. That's right. You know what I love about this company is you know it's amazing. It represents our entire world. You know, we have people like you know, Cheyenne Knox, right? She was in high school when she went diamond. I think she'd just gotten out of 18. I don't think she was 19 yet, went diamond, right? And then we have every background, every walk of life, you know, from a lot of different countries even, right? People that are just finding out about this for the first time because they couldn't even do It Works until recently, and they're still winning. There's a lot of people winning across the world, and I know we can win too. And it's funny because I was talking to Mel and Blair the other day, and I wanted to share this and just with everyone, is that what I've learned from Mel and Blair from the beginning have always said, I'm going to kind of take another little piece of this business that we haven't really talked about yet, is they always say, how many people can you fit in your heart, right? And I always love that because I think one of the best things about Mel and Blair is that if you join and you're on Mel and Blair's team, you're going to stay around until you figure it out. See, some people come in the business and they'll stay around for, you know, a week or a month, and they come and they go and they come and they go. But when you come in and you're in Mel and Blair's organization, you and Rusty's organization, you know that you have people who genuinely care about you and have your back. And I love that. And I think that's such an important piece of this business because we're all on our different ride, right? We're all on a different pathway to figure it out. And some it takes shorter and some it takes longer. I mean, for me, my first company I was in, it was 1994, and I didn't make no money. And then I was in another one in like 98, didn't make no money. And then in 2001, I finally found a company I made a couple thousand in. I think my best month was 3,000. So I figured out a little bit. I actually had a decent mentor. And then another company after that. But it took me all the way through all these companies and looking at, for every one company I joined, I probably went to 3 or 4 business briefings of other companies. So I saw a lot. And I went to a lot of different conferences with other companies and things. And then it works. It's an anomaly, right? And the word anomaly basically means it's not normal. What you guys have here, we have a girl on our team. She's with us for years, and she wanted to try some other stuff out. She went and tried 3 other companies out, gave up her organization, was making really good money, gave it all up, and she ended up coming back because this is where it's at. So the first thing I want you guys to have confidence in is if you're going to do network marketing, you're in the right place. Okay. You are in the right place. And I had a huge aha moment this morning, and I figured I'd go ahead and share it here with you guys because I think this will be really helpful for you. And hopefully some of you that are driving, you might not be able to do this, but if you're sitting down and you have your phone and you can take a note or you can write something down on a napkin or whatever, I think it'll help. So something to understand, and really a lot of this business is understanding who you are and understanding where you want to go. The only guarantee tomorrow is going to be better is if you grow today, because for things to change, you have to change, right? That's the only thing you can really control out of any of this. You can't control what product comes out next year. You can't control what product maybe goes away, but you can control who you are and who you're becoming. And I think that's so important. So something to understand, we talk about personalities and like the 4 colors, and there's different tests that you can take to go through self-awareness. I call it doing a checkup from the neck up, kind of see where you're at, understanding where you are, who you are, where you're at, where you're going. But I wanted to give you these 7 things because if you think about these 7 things and where you are right now on a scale of 1 to 5, right? So if you're a 1, it's just not important to you, and be real here. This isn't a turn-in test. This is for you to understand yourself better and why you are where you are and how you're going to be better off getting to where you want to go. So as I share each one of these with you, these 7 things, just jot down if you're a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're a 5, that is super important to you. If it's a 1, it's just not important. So anywhere between 1 and 5, right? So the first one is purpose. Is discovering your purpose important to you? Is it not? Or is it very important, right? So what is that on a scale of 1 to 5? Number 2 would be autonomy. Is flexibility, is freedom. Maybe you're someone you don't mind having a boss. You don't mind getting up early with the alarm clock, or maybe you're someone that you want time freedom, you want financial freedom, you want to design your life, you want to be in control of all of your schedule. So how important is that to you? The third one is relationships. Are deep, meaningful relationships important to you? They're not to everybody. Right? Some people are they're just like people are people. They come and go. They don't care. And other people want to have like 50 super close, intimate relationships. So how important on a scale of 1 to 5? Progress. Is it important for you professionally and personally to be growing every single day? Is it important for you to look back last year and go, wow, I'm not the person I was a year ago. I'm growing. I'm progressing consistently. Mastery. When Rusty talks about being, so this would be number 5. When Rusty's talking about becoming a professional, a part of becoming a professional is you're mastering your craft. You hear people talk about 10,000 hours. Dave Ramsey talks about 10,000 hours. Every professional athlete talks about 10,000 hours. You got to get that 10,000 hours in so that now you can get the name of expert in that area, in that field, because you've put in the time and the due diligence to learn. You don't have to look up the scripts anymore because you've spoken the scripts. You just naturally sit down and you're talking to a great waitress and you ask them if they keep their income options open because you've already said it 100 times and it's not weird anymore like it was the first 5 times you said, do you keep your income options open? That just feels weird at first, right? But you kind of get used to the language, and it's kind of like in school, when they first show you those times tables, 8 times 8, 7 times 7, and you have no clue, right? But after you go through it, it's just boom, boom. 2 + 2 is 4. 4 + 4 is 8. So you just get used to that. That's part of mastery. Recognition. I think it was Martin, some author, I don't remember who it was, but he said most people will go 3 months from one compliment. They can live off one compliment for 3 months. So is that, and it's not important to everybody, but is recognition important to you? Does that fire you up? And then the last one would be money. Is money important to you? And once you've got your money out of the way, is it still important to you to be able to give and to be able to serve and be able to have more so that you can give more? So here's what's cool. So now you have a list of 7 and you have 1s through 5 on each one. But here's the aha part for me. The more reasons you have to be motivated, the more motivated you're going to be, right? The more reasons you have to be motivated, the more motivated you're going to be. So if you have a lot of 4s and 5s on there, you have a lot of reasons to be motivated. You have a lot of important, this industry will help you with each of those 7 things on a regular, consistent basis. Now, here's the next thing is know where your team's at. I had a bunch of our team tell me today where they're at. And this one girl, I know she's red. And so because she's red, I thought money was super important to her. Money's not as important to her as relationships is to her. And then it clicked. I'm like, wow, this girl messages me almost every single day because she feeds off the relationship and the back and forth and that. So it's just another tool to know yourself and to know people on your team. But when we have these reasons, when you're here, not just for the money, right? Because if you're here just for the money, you're here for $500, when you make $500, you're going to just get frustrated because you're going to like trying to be in that maintained $500 because you did what you set out to do. But if you're here because you're trying to discover your purpose and you want to design your life with the freedom and you want to have meaningful, solid relationships and make progress and go through mastery and be recognized and make a lot of money, then that's going to be so helpful. So, in my experience here in the last 7.5 years, again, I can just piggyback off what these guys have already said. Mark is the real deal. Mark is a competitor. Mark is a winner. I mean, think about it. The dude's got an island. He's got a ranch. He's got his house paid off. He's got, I don't know how much money in the bank, but he doesn't need the money anymore. He could just disappear off into some
island.
Some island, his island or some other island, and just be like, dude says, I'm out, but he's here because he wants to win. And a big measure of him winning is the people here winning. Mm-hmm. And so this company, it's not a publicly traded company that sits around and says, how are we going to put more money in our shareholders' pockets and increase the bottom line, therefore taking away from some of the distributors potentially. They're sitting in rooms going, how can we get more 6-figure earners in this company? How can we how can we get 100 black diamonds in 1 year? What would that look like? Let's map that out. And that's the kind of things that they're strategizing about. And I know there's Rusty's dropping hints over here that there's some stuff coming at conference, right? There's going to be some good things coming at conference that again are just coming from that place of wanting to serve us and help us and help us have a lot more success. So 2020 is the year of perfect vision, right? I mean, you have 2020 vision, you have perfect vision. And I love this is the year of more. And again, it always boils down to the same thing. It just boils down to what do you want and what are you willing to do to get it? And you have to develop those strong reasons because those strong reasons are at war with your excuses every single day, just like every single one of us. Mark has excuses to not get up early and stay up late. Rusty, Mel, Blair, we all do. We could all veg out on Netflix for the next year and just be like, we'll see what happens with it works. We could do that. So you got to know where you're going, know where you're at, and just chip away. Eat that elephant one bite at a time every single day. Some days are going to be better. Some days are going to be worse. But if you're just taking that axe and you just hit that tree, eventually the tree is going to fall. It's the same exact thing here. If you want diamond, do the things every single day that it takes to get there, whether you feel like it or not. And then over time, you'll go, whoa, I blew right past diamond. Now I'm triple diamond. Let's keep on going. And I love that Mel was talking about the ABC because I'm listening to that and I'm like, I've been a B student and I want to be an A student. And so I'm already challenged from this to go out and up my game, and disrupt my patterns, right? Disrupt my routine and add more and be smarter and do things. So this is just a great time, guys. I mean, you're blessed to be in this organization, in this company. And there's this is going to be an amazing year where a lot of people on here right now, you're going to make some crazy stuff happen in your life that you'll look back and you'll have blown your own mind from what happened, from the power of this industry and the power of what we have here. So thanks guys for asking me to come on and I'm going to stick around to the end. So, you know, we want to talk about more stuff or whatever, I'll be here too.
Yeah, well,
Awesome.
thank you, Chad. Go ahead.
No,
Oh, I was just
Blair
saying that
said
was awesome stuff. But I mean, that's so true that, you know, we're all our own boss. And most people aren't geared that way in their mind. They never been in business for themselves before. They're always used to somebody telling them this is what they had to do when they showed up to work. But you are your own boss. Entrepreneur, you're the one that's got to call those shots and be the toughest boss on you that you've ever had, because it's going to pay you so much further. The reward is so much greater than anything you've ever had your hands on before. If you will learn to be disciplined. Disciplined is doing those things like what Chad was talking about on a daily basis. Even when you don't want to do them, you do them anyway, because you know that's what it's going to take on a consistent basis to get you where you want to go. And to have the freedom in your life, that autonomy he was talking about, where you don't let that alarm clock rule you or own you and hit that traffic every morning going to work, my God, it's worth whatever you got to do to get out of that rat race and be able to wake up, you know, when you want to, you know, whether it's early or late, sleep in or not, whatever. I mean, there's a price to be paid for success, and you can't negotiate that. It is non-negotiable. There are things you're going to have to do to succeed. And no matter what it is you're going to do, if you're going to be a brain surgeon or airline pilot or whatever, there are these basic things you're going to have to be very good at and master to have that success in whatever career you choose. We just choose this career because I think it offers more, of course we're on that word tonight too, but more opportunities, more freedoms, more income, more passive income, more opportunity to pour into other people and help other people. When we look at everybody on this Zoom tonight, it's all A people. And you deserve it. You deserve that six-figure income, I'm telling you. But you're going to have to be hard on yourself and disciplined to be able to attain that. I hope that makes sense. How, you know, talking out of tough love here, because we love everybody on this call. We know what's out there for you. We know what's out there for you. Just like Mark knows what's all out there for all of us, okay? So just take that to heart. Be the tough boss, man. You know, you be the tough boss. Me boss.
Yeah.
Me boss.
And you gotta watch what you're saying. You gotta watch how you're talking about yourself, your team. That's what I wanted you to talk about a little bit. Will you do that? Blair's got a great analogy about, you know, you got to put it out there. You got to declare what you want. That's first and foremost. You got to declare what you want, and then you start doing the action towards it. But God is the one that's going to bring it, y'all. You just do the work. It doesn't matter wherever you think you got to work, and you cannot look at where you've been working and say, it's not working, because it is. It may not work right there where you're working, but God's working it out for you because you are doing the work. You follow me on that? So I wanted Blair to share one of the greatest people who called things like they wanted it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I saw a documentary a couple of weeks before we went to Costa Rica, and it was about Muhammad Ali. They called him the greatest. He was the greatest heavyweight champion fighter of all time. I mean, he earned that championship 3 different times over about a 10-year time period, you know. And Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest at self-promotion. He wasn't going around saying, I am the greatest for the world. He was saying it to himself. And they called him the Louisville Lip because he was from Louisville, Kentucky. And they were all mocking him, laughing at him. Oh, you sure are loud, the Louisville Lip and all that. He's like, I am the greatest. There's nobody out there like me. There's never going to be anybody like me, you know. And he kept putting it out there and putting it out there in his own mind's eye. And he said that after he won the championship, the heavyweight title of the world, that it was harder to go back and win it again than it was the first time, because you weren't as hungry as you were when you were coming up through the ranks. You know, you'd already reached that pinnacle. You'd hit your goal. You'd hit your dream. You had that belt. You had the title or whatever, you know. He said it was much harder to get up and run those 5 miles at 5 o'clock in the morning after he won it than getting there. And I think that's where some of us are here. We've had great levels of success, but now we got to push ourselves to that next level of success. And the documentary I saw was when he was fighting George Foreman. They called it the Rumble in the Jungle. He was in Zaire, Africa, on my 19th birthday. It's way back when, but
Right.
yeah. But everybody thought that Foreman was going to kill him. I mean, literally kill him. Foreman had just knocked out everybody in the world. I mean, Smoking Joe Frazier went down. Ken Norton went down. I mean, these guys didn't last 2 rounds with George Foreman.
George Foreman is the one with the grill. George Foreman Grill.
George Foreman Grill.
Just
Now,
for some of you young ones.
Yeah, 1974. And the guy looked like a Greek Adonis, man. He looked like a carved statue, Foreman did. I mean, he was nothing but pure muscle and power, man. And everybody did. They thought Ali doesn't have a chance. Ali was in his late 30s. He'd already won the title, lost it. He, won the title, lost it. He was coming back to try to win it again from Foreman in Africa. And they were like, they should call this fight off. This is going to be murder. He's going to kill a guy, But Ali had it in his mind, his strategy, how he was going to defeat George Foreman. And that's what he did. He let Foreman just hit him with everything he could, man. Just boom, boom, round after round. And he's up there whispering in George Foreman's ear, "Is that all you got, George? Is that all you got? Man, you're punching like a sissy." I mean, nobody could hear this with George Foreman and Ali in the midst of all this fight that was going on. And he let Foreman just wail on him, man. He got on the ropes. They called it the rope-a-dope. He covered up on the ropes, and Foreman just bam, bam. I mean, just laying into Ali with everything that he had for 7 rounds. And Ali could tell he was wearing out. He was getting tired. And on the 8th round, Ali stepped up and bam, put Foreman down, and he couldn't get back up, man. He was down and out for the count. And guess what? Ali was the champion again for the 3rd time. I mean, it was impossible, right? The world said it was impossible, but it wasn't impossible because the man knew what he was doing. He was willing to take the punishment. And I look at it, some of you have heard me say this before, but I think some of it is it's the world's job to knock the snot out of you. Okay? That's kind of what the world is set up to do sometimes. We can all be on top of the mountain, and life is awesome and life is great. But then there's also the valley. I mean, it was 18 years ago today that we buried our 21-year-old daughter. Today was the day of her funeral when Lisa died. So you talk about coming up out of the valley, but we had a choice. We still have a choice today and every day. What are we going to do to live strong and to live forward in Lisa's honor and to serve God? So I know some of you are going through different choices with, family members or disease or different things going on in family life. And it can be tough. I know it can. It can be just horrendous. But we have that choice, and it's our choice. It's our call. And it's what do we think in between our ears. And that's what develops you as that A person, okay? How you think, what you choose to think, what you tell yourself to think, the goals that you have, the dreams that you have, the things that you just like, how can I ever get that done? And don't worry about the how. You just get in motion. You just get in motion and do what you have to do on a daily basis. And you'll be amazed at where you're going to be a year from now. You're just going to be totally blown away. It's like Mel said, when we've known Mark now for a long time, and we've seen him in this kind of mode or whatever you want to call it, and he sets us down. Everything Mark has said has come true. We've been a little part of it. A lot of us on this call, we've been a little part of it, but we've seen it all come to pass. And I'm telling you, like I was saying before, we've got a better product line now than we had back then. We've got better stuff in place. We've got better systems in place. We've got a tremendous, awesome website, just everything is there in your fingertips.
3 websites now.
Really, it's all right there at all of our fingertips. You just have to get in the action and get in gear and go for it and quit worrying about what people think about you. I mean, that holds back so many people worried about what people think. You've got to not let that bother you or get into your mindset. Like, who cares what they think, man? When you got your freedom, you think you're going to care what people think about you? I mean, I got laughed at out there on construction sites because I had the magic butt card on my truck. People were gigging me and laughing at me. What have you done? You done lost your mind, dude, and all this crazy stuff, I didn't care what they said. I did not give a, what they said. I really didn't. And guess what? Guess who's not out there and hadn't been out there for a long, long time now?
Gosh, 11 years. You haven't been out there in 11 years.
So you can't let people determine where you're going to go, okay? You have got to control your own destiny. You be the tough boss on yourself. You'll be glad you did. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
To piggyback on that, Blair, Yeah, when I was younger, I had a guy to come up and give me a raise when had a little job. And he said, "I'm giving you 10 cents on the hour. Don't tell nobody." I said, "Don't worry, I'm ashamed of it as you are." But right then, when he gave me the check on Friday, something welled up in me. This is all you're worth. To piggyback on what Blair said, the day you get tired of being told what you're worth on Friday, and you're already broke again by Monday, they've got you in what I call modern day slavery. And the day you make up your mind, I've had enough. Like when I left the bank, I had enough. I didn't really know what I was going to do when I got home. I just believed in Mark. I then built a relationship with him. I believed that if I put the same kind of effort in that I did for those people, and I put it in for me, that this thing just might work. And I made up my mind I wasn't going back to no bank. I said, I get a job on a trash truck. I'll be the best trash picker upper in the whole county, but I ain't going back over there. And you know what? It's been over 18 years and I've been a full-time daddy with these two little girls, my little girls that grew. I never missed nothing else in the rest of your life. And Mel and Blair, today's the 7th year where I buried my father today as well. So we got something really in common. And I try to kind of stay away from it as much as I can and stay busy. But I can tell you, when it's most important, our families needed us the most because of Mark Pentecost and It Works Global. We were able to step up and be there. I said 37 days in the hospital with my father holding his hand. I never left. I talked to Cindy Pentecost twice in a 37-day period. I never had to leave. And for the people that don't like me the most in my family, they couldn't do it. And I asked them the other week, I said, you want to go with me somewhere tomorrow? Oh, you still have to show up for work. I said, I'm sorry, never mind. And you rub it in, but when you make up your mind that you're worth it, your family's worth it, you're going to do what it takes, this ain't really hard. It's just being consistent with it. Go in and wage war on this like Muhammad Ali did. I'm the greatest. My family does deserve the very best. We are going to travel the world. I am going to live in this kind of house. And when you start telling yourself that, you're going to begin to believe it. So you believe that everybody else is lying to you. Now you're going to start to believe something you're telling yourself. And I promise,
That's right.
this will start to manifest because you'll start to take the necessary actions. And if you go through what Chad just gave you, and you start really being transparent with yourself and what's most important to you, and you come after it, there's absolutely nothing can stop you. But I can tell you, out of my 57 years of existence, I've just been nothing more than a training ground for where I am right this very minute to go into the 2020. And I like what Chad said. Do you have 2020 vision? If you ain't got 2020 vision, you got 2019 vision. That's where you'll be, because yesterday and yesteryear is already gone. If you're still living in that, you're still letting somebody else tell you what you're worth on Friday. Chad, you got anything to add to this?
Man, I want to really, really encourage you guys that there's nothing you can't do. Okay. And I've seen it over my 7.5 years. I've seen the light bulb get turned on, and someone turned the light bulb on me. And for the rest of my life, I'm committed and dedicated to turn the light bulb on other people. And here's what I can tell you. If the light bulb isn't turned on for you yet, you need to get away from the people that turn the light bulbs off. You need to get around some lighthouses. You need to get around some Mel and Blairs. You need to drive, go buy lunch, whatever it takes, and get around some good people that are going to believe in you, and they're going to look in the eye, and they're going to tell you who you are. They're not going to tell you who they want you to be. They're going to tell you who you are, because so many of us, it's an ongoing revelation of who we are and what we're capable of, because the world tried to, since from birth, has put us in a tighter and tighter and tighter box. And when you get in an industry like this, we start using language. It's like a foreign language of getting out of the box. And it's like, you don't even know you're in a box. And now it's like getting out of the box, and we have to unlearn so much of what we've learned before. But what I can tell you guys is, if you just will embrace the process and enjoy the journey and commit to the process, no matter what the noise is saying, because what I can promise you is there's going to be noise out there. You got to dial in to the right radio station, right? None of you would let your next door neighbor come over and dump their entire garbage can in your front yard. So don't let these people dump this garbage in your head. Okay. Just don't let it. You have to understand, you have to discern between what's good to come in your ear and what's garbage, and tune out of the stations that are bad for you and tune in to the stations that are good for you, like getting on this Zoom, like getting to conference, like getting to try it. It's like finding some good podcasts and motivational stuff to listen to, and surrounding yourself with winners, doing things that matter with people who care and are for you, whether they get anything out of it or not. That's what you want to do life with. And that's the kind of people that are attracted into this company. What I can promise you is some of the very, very best people in the world are getting attracted in this company. And that's why you're here. And if you stick around long enough and learn how this works, you're going to attract some of the best people into the world. And some of them are going to end up on your team. Some of them aren't. But through all of us combined doing this together, we're all going to get better. We're all going to grow. And it's going to be an awesome, amazing journey. And we'll be sitting here 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road going, wow, man, I can't believe that we've been able to do that. And you'll have your Mel and Blair story, your Rusty story, you know, all of your favorite people in this company. You can have their story. You can have your story that it's just whatever you can imagine for. I'll leave you with this, my favorite quote, Paul J. Meyer. Okay, Paul J. Meyer, self-made billionaire, right? Grew up, no money, broke, and he's self-made man. So it wasn't like it was handed down or anything like that. And he has hundreds of quotes, and I love quotes, and I know a lot of them. But he said, what he says is, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. And that quote is so true. That's the formula. You got to vividly imagine it. You got to ardently. That's strong desire. That's like laser focus, heat seeking missile focus, right? Ardently is the desire. Sincerely believe and enthusiastically act upon. Not just act upon, not just go through the motions, but enthusiastically, like eternal optimist enthusiasm, like excited, like today is the best day of your life. So much better than yesterday, last year. And then when you wake up tomorrow, today is the best day of your life, right? And whenever you get that together and you put that all together, then it's inevitable, guys. Success, your dreams, designing your life, everything you want, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And you know this because you've seen, you know, Jim Rohn, right? From testimonials and personal experience, we have enough information to conclude that it's possible to design and live an extraordinary life. So you guys already know this. So it's just a matter of putting in the work and the time and staying the course and enjoying the journey along the way. And I can't wait to high five you all at conference.
Absolutely. Well, Mel,
Yeah.
we've been over just a little bit. Go ahead and let's finish this thing up, and then we'll get this recording out and stuck on all the pages. I'll make sure she sends it to all of you.
All right. Well, I don't have too much more to say other than you guys, whatever you left in 2019, leave it there. Okay. Come into this year expecting, excited. Just try it, y'all. Just try doing it that way for a change. The way you've done it by thinking, oh my God, it's never going to happen. And I don't even know how much money I want to make. And, you know, I had a distributor the other day reach out to me. She's making her dream board and she's trying to figure out what's a realistic amount of money to make by the end of the year. And I said, girl, that's what a dream board is for. Don't be realistic. You got to put it out there. What do you want to make? How much money do you want to make? It doesn't matter if you think you can make it or not. That's beside the point. So you guys have got to understand where you are, where you've been, but where you're going, more importantly, and figure it out. What do you want? Because you can have it through this vehicle of network marketing and with this company, because we've all proven it to be so. We're not done yet. We're just getting started. The people who are going to make the most money hadn't even got in yet, or maybe they're just now getting in. Okay, it could be you. So I truly believe that. Pam has always said there's enough money in this marketing plan that we can all be making $1 million a month. The way the marketing plan, the way the comp plan is laid out, we could all be making $1 million a month. Is that how much you want? You got to put it out there. You got to say, Lord, I believe I can do it. Okay? So make the decision that this is going to be one of your best years. Okay? Because then the 2021 is going to be even better, and so on. But make the decision that 2020 is going to be one of the best years you've ever had, and then go after it. Don't complicate it. Just go share your love and enthusiasm for these products. People are going to either get in as a distributor, or they're going to get in as a customer, or they're going to do nothing. So what? Don't let it bother you. The ones that are supposed to get in are going to get in because God's already ordained it so.
Absolutely. Predestined.
All right?
Yes, ma'am. Well, you guys, this has been the best Zoom I think I've ever been on. And I've been on a lot of them in the last bunch of years. But this is what I know as a matter of fact. This is the best team in direct sales today. I'll put the Super Bowl team against anybody in the world at this particular point in time. And it's only getting better. And I unconditionally love every one of you. And until tomorrow, make this the best evening you've ever had. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Love everybody.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Go Titans.
See you at conference.